So Leanna, let's say that, I'm based out of Philadelphia, and as a CNRA, could I take a study site or a position that's located in, let's say, I don't know, San Diego? And how would that work?
Every time you're assigned a site, you work out of Philadelphia. So you would travel to San Diego or whatever sites you've been assigned to, but there have been CRAs or CNRAs in the past that can actually move from one city to another, and it does not affect the job itself.
Okay, but how often do people typically travel to their site?
That's a good question. It is based on enrollment as well, patients, but there are standards of every 4 to 6 weeks. So it depends on the project itself. You have to go at least one day every 4 to 6 weeks.
And is the travel typically covered inside the contract, or is that something that you have to pay out of from the money that you get from the contract?
It depends on who the contract is with. Some of them will do door-to-door payments and travel. Some of them, or that's ours, door-to-door. Someone will actually have an actual platform that they use for travel that they want the CRA to use or CNRA to use. So it actually depends on every project, every contract's different. So it's one of those questions that the CNRA needs to clarify before they sign that contract.
Okay, and are those negotiables in terms of here's my hourly rate plus I want additional funds for any time I have to travel, or is that just something that's standard?
It can be negotiable, but there are a lot of contracts that have standard processes in place for that. You can sign a contract as 1099 or you can sign it as a W-2. If it's a W-2, they kind of give you everything you need. If it's a 1099, you usually have to have your own contract or your own credit card to cover those costs, and then you get reimbursed for them.
Okay. Is one better than the other, or how did you do it?
I started with a 1099, didn't have any cash because that's a big thing. Didn't have any cash, so I used the credit card, but I had to have at least a limit of $10,000 to start on my credit card, which was a hefty start.
Because of all the travel.
Yes, all the travel. So I saved the money to actually be able to, I saved $10,000 first from having a contract on the side with my job. And then I used that to cover my credit card costs, but I needed that for the travel. And so that is one of the clarifications you need for a contract, because you want to know if you have to front the money first. They will always reimburse you, yes they will, when you submit that. But it's always a matter if you have to front the money or if they're going to actually take care of it.
Okay. And how often do they pay? Is this something that it's like a normal pay schedule, or is it like once a month or once a contract?
I actually have a contract now. It's still part-time, but I do have a contract now that I kept forever. It's part-time and I get paid monthly. So every contract is different, and their schedules are different. That is negotiable too with a CNRA. You can say, well, I need to be paid every week, or I need to be paid every bi-weekly. Is that feasible? They can work with you based on that, yes.
Okay, and so negotiation, when you negotiate with these companies, is that something that you teach nurses how to do?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
Great, thanks.